Hey there, Steve Wagner here. We're going to be doing some VPR reviews in the near future. 18 years, we really haven't done this. And so I know that everyone's going to be wondering, hey, why such a new change in how we do things? And so that's what this video is about, is trying to give what call proper perspective versus a potentially false paradigm. So we want to give people the reasons why we're doing it. But when next 4 to 6 weeks is when we're going to try to roll these things out. We've got a lot to get to. But then after that, every 4 to 6 months, we'd hope every 4 months, but it may be every 6 months. But we're just going to find a way to do a review. And where? Preferably Zoom meeting, but it may end up being face to face type of meeting on these things. But I prefer to do as many on Zoom meeting as possible. Who Jamie is our COO, as we'll find out. This is part of the reason why we're doing it now, is that we finally have someone that can help us in this department. It's been something that my mom and I just really haven't looked forward to doing. Um, but possibly maybe two people involved in it, or even three, or maybe even four. Karen and or Steve being me, and Sharon. Any possibility of that combination. But it'll be a VPR manager. Who's going to get a review? It's everyone, somewhat from the top down, and that means when we're saying top, being who's tenure with the company, how long you've been with the company, what rank you are in the company, and this and that. We're going to try to start from the top and kind of work our way down. If it's not exactly like that, then don't hold us to that, because sometimes it's just whoever we can get to, the availability of the people, and so forth. How are we going to do it? Well, we got three forms to kind of help us go through the process, and why are we doing it. And main thing is improvement. Try to improve the company, improve our professionalism. As you'll see, it's something we should have been doing a long time ago, and we don't really get the best score rating in our management skills in the past, and we're trying to improve on that. And this is a way where we think we're going to, if someone were grading us on our management skills, this would be something that would lift our score up a little bit. We don't think we would score too high in that area now. So this is, anyways, we want to improve communication between the employee and the staff and ownership, and then from the ownership down to the employees as well. Collaboration, which is just a little more connectiveness of communication, and then hopefully it'll result in company morale. So that's kind of the cliff notes as to why we're doing it. But I kind of want to go over a little bit more with this. Let's see, this is probably right there. No, that's a different meeting I'm going to be doing here soon. That's not. That's a whole different thing there as well. Let me find the. Okay, so let's go through this real quickly. Okay, so the reason, because it's, why are we doing these reviews? Well, it's considered good management by corporate USA. We've got a lot of friends and connects, and they've been saying, y'all need to do reviews, y'all need to do reviews. They're also saying we need to have some sort of a board of counselors or directors. Maybe that's one of the next things we'll do. But for now, we just know we need to do reviews. It's long, long, long overdue. Gives us a chance to recognize and praise our people for job well done and admirable trait attributes. We're not necessarily going to go over the top on it. It's not going to be like a ticket parade and anything like that. But we're just going to say, hey, you're doing a good job on this. We really appreciate what you're doing. Um, Gives us a chance to obtain valuable insight and information. Gives us a chance we can slow down, and you can just say, hey, what's on your mind? What are you seeing? And that's just responsible for us to be trying to get a heads up from our every employee we've got. Just plain responsible to be informed on everyone's situation and viewpoints, and gives us a chance to advise on areas where improvement can and should be made, rather than just spur of the moment coming up to somebody, the heat of the moment often, and saying, man, you need to do better on that. We can, because we have these reviews, we can kind of maybe mention it subtly, then, hey, that's something we probably need to improve on, but we'll talk about that, when we've got a review coming up in a few weeks, and just going to keep your in mind. It gives us another chance. Sometimes we feel like we have to overdo it at that particular point, because that's the only shot we're going to get. And so now, but anyway, so why now? Well, on the positive, again, we've got Jamie Nowles installed as COO. We think she can really help deliver on this, and so that's probably one of the reasons why we're saying, hey, we can finally do this now. Also, up to about, it says a year ago, it's really about 3 years ago, we only had one office, and we had, a lot less employees, a lot less agents. Now we're up to 12 offices. And keep in mind, the offices east to west can be somewhere in the 70, 80 mile range between one and the other. And then maybe even north and south, somewhere in that north 70, 80 mile range. There's just a lot of offices and a lot of employees, a lot of moving parts, and we just need to come together a little bit more. So if it's just 2 times a year, 3 times a year, we have a meeting with all our employees. We think we'll be better because of that. So, and we have to do it now with the way we're growing, and we intend to be bigger than we are even now. And so, in order to do that, we're going to have to connect a little bit more, and that's why now. How did you come up with the methodology? Well, we've got a lot of different samples we've gotten from various people, and then a lot of it's just by googling and looking at the hundreds of forms and processes. We kind of came up with our own, like my mom and I always do, entrepreneurs. We kind of came with something we thought best suits our company. I'm sure it's going to change after the first run. It's we may tone it down, simplify it, may add some stuff, delete some stuff. But this is our start out of the gates. And the first one will be a little bit longer than the rest down the road because this is so long overdue. So disclaimers or words of advice, handling the review is actually more important than the actual review score or ratings themselves. Let me say that again. The way you handle the review is more important than the actual review itself. To be honest, we are watching to see how people handle it. The grades and the components. Like I said earlier, there's 3 components. There's 3 kind of forms we're going to be using. There will be grades, and I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But how the review is handled before, during, and immediately after. Is there an attempt to improve and adapt based on the review? That's what we're looking for, honestly. So listen about the word improvement. That's so important. Growth and improvement and advancement. So important. My mom and I. That's the most important thing. If there's growth and improvement, there's always hope with an employee. I'd much rather have someone really doing well, not have someone doing well but regressing. That I'd much rather have someone that needs improvement but willing to do it and is showing that they are getting better and better and better. We'll love and hold on to that employee for forever if they're always improving. It's the ones that feel like they've arrived, that it seem to be moving backwards. Those are the ones that give us a lot of concern. Anyways, rarely. Okay, so this is real important. Rarely does a score. I just messed that up. Undo. Rarely does a score go over a 3. Now, about time for me to kind of switch over to another tab here. Let me see. Well, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Rarely does a score go over a 3. This is real important for you to understand, because if you don't understand this and you come in thinking that you're expecting all the checks to be here or here, and this is what's going to be, then you're going to be disappointed. So listen again. We're already assuming that this is, really straight down the middle. That would be the perfect employee. Now we know a perfect employee is probably going to have 1 or 2 maybe here. Not 7, not 8, not 10, certainly not 22. 2 or 3 that are very good or great. So that's 3.5 or 4. Almost all of them are going to be right here. Now, honestly, let me just say this again, just so you understand again on the next level. Find that form. Everyone will have at least 2 or 3 items below a 3, at least. Okay, so I don't want you, someone could say they're always looking for faults. In a way, you'd be right. We're not looking for faults to be negative. We're looking for areas that you can improve on. So if your goal or your belief is that you'll always be in the green and that's what it is, we're always going to start by, and so the way we recognize areas that you have some room for improvement in, is by checking some boxes in the yellow and possibly even orange or red for that matter. But it's really how you handle it. So again, I'm trying to give the paradigm on how you handle these things, because everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to have some yellow and potentially below yellow. And so don't come in there and act defensive when we always find something to be yellow about. This is our tool. Rather than coming up and acting angry at you, either in private or in public, this is our tool for kind of bringing that to your attention, having calm, cool, collaborative discussion. Hopefully, I've said enough on that. But I feel like somebody, no matter what we say, is going to expect all fours, and they'll be insulted to just get all threes, or they're just all green and they're going to be insulted they get yellows. Nobody's perfect, and this is a tool that we're going to use to show you where you can improve. So don't take offense to your score, take action. Don't take offense to your score, take action. Um, don't let what you interpret. Now, I notice I got that bold because that's there's no reality to this. It's what you interpret as a high score or a low score to demotivate you or cause you to have a bad attitude. It can go both ways. I've seen people, if we overpraise them, then they feel like, well, heck, I've got nowhere to go. And then somehow they just set them, and it's part of our fault, set themselves up for regressing when all we really want is constant improvement by the employees. Um, and sometimes I've had it where I've brought someone into my office and started going over the negative aspects, and they take offense to that. They keep saying, "Well, I do this, 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 and this. It's positive." And I go, "Yeah, yeah, I know that, and I've told you that from time to time. But right now, I'm telling you about the negative things that we really appreciate if you kind of worked on." And instead of taking as constructive, they get really defensive and they get really angry. And then ultimately, this has happened with a couple employees over there. Well, I'm not even going to do those positive things anymore. And that seems to be a human knee jerk reaction, is to take away. I'm not appreciated. I'm not even going to do those positive things anymore. When in reality, you do that, then you really are not a good employee anymore, because those great attributes, which you're very so right that are great, have been pulling up for maybe some of the ones that you could use some improvement on. So, anyways, it's how you handle the review before, during, and after is what's so important. And so hopefully I've shaped a paradigm properly. I'm asking you as employees, if you hear other employees trying to redo, change things, try to give their interpretation of things, or this is really why they're doing, or this is bad, or whatever. Correct those people, because this is all in the name of improvement, improving the company, improving communication, collaboration, and improving each employee. My mom and I do believe that everyone should be trying to improve all the time, and no one is ever 100% arrived. So hopefully that I may have overspoken that, but this is one of the prime tools, and we got like 22, 23 attributes. These are just talking points. It's very difficult to even agree on what goes here, because some of these actually, in a sense, contradict one another. So it'll make more sense when we go over it. But these are talking points. 21, 23. That'll be a big part of it. And you ultimately have the score, and but then we'll also go over the job description. And we always want to have a fresh, new job description, because that's always going to be changing. To me, this is direction. We try to put the most important things you work on first in most cases. The things that are the highest priority of the company, the second highest priority, third highest, down to seven, and so forth. Again, as we do job description, one thing I always want to say is that we always want people to do whatever is necessary or required at the time, even though this may be your job description. We really don't like it when employees go, "That's not my area." I'm in the east side. I'm in the west side. I'm on the north side. I don't do that. That's someone else's job. Honestly, whatever the company needs is the job. But this helps people be autonomous. That's another term we'll talk about in the thing. And We want people to be autonomous. We're not going to be calling them every day, telling them what to do, and all that stuff. We want people that understand their job description and just go to work every day and execute. So that's a big part of the whole thing. And then let's see. We also have a question and answer thing as well. There it is. We have a question and answer stuff about the company, things you like the most about the company, things you like the least about the company, some employees that you think might need to be. It's confidential. This part, need to be coached up a little bit and why. And some people that need to be extra praise, and you just want to recognize that they're really making the company better. We want you to do that, but it just gives them a chance to answer some questions that we think help us understand things a lot better. And so that's basically it. That's the who, why, where, and all that stuff. And hopefully you enjoy the process. You enjoy the increased communication, collaboration. In some ways, we're looking forward to it. In some ways, we're not. But we know it absolutely needs to be done. It's long overdue. So my mom and I, and Jamie and Sharon and everybody, just thank you for everything that you do, and by taking this in the best possible, most productive manner, and helping us, and becoming a better company. Thank you for listening. Good luck.